viewers. It's day 64. Now today we got a lot done. So made some major fixes, refactored 370. It's just going through some QA. I should properly fix my architecture on the Claude code so that stuff like QA and all that, I could definitely automate the iterative loop. But the only problem is when I run QA is I like to actually read it and understand what's going on and approve things individually sometimes. I mean, not everything has to be approved individually, but there are some things that I do spot in each report from the Claude code build, and I'm like, okay, that's not going through. That I don't want that. Man. So, that's the whole part of having a human aspect to it. Just when you eyeball it, you kind of know. Yeah, we did that. That took a while. I spent like 3.5 hours straight just reading and approving fixes and then put it into Claude Code. So yeah, I do have a good understanding of what the current state of it looks like. It just needs to go through some more QA before the refactor goes into production, and we'll test it. It should be good. Like we'll finish it tomorrow, and then it should be good for Monday. We also need to fix our enrichment. So that's the two things we're gonna do tomorrow. Is that and fix our enrichment logic and how we're doing enrichment. Once that's fixed and formalized, we're ready for Monday. And yeah, this evening tonight I was just looking at the viability of, I think I talked about this before, but building a sort of integration product. Now I don't have a long-term vision for this quoting agent, just because, like, yes, I mean, no, because even if I wanted to build like a SaaS platform, and ignore all the how unrewarding that is and how little, I just don't see myself doing that because I don't really have any interest in that, in that particular area at least. But even then, the product itself, as of right now, it solves a real issue, but for such a small market, it's a small TAM, and so zero unicorn potential at all, and it would never get VC backed because it can't make big returns. So it can't expand vertically because it's a vertical small. It has to expand horizontally, and expanding horizontally would mean there's this direct competitor we'd be competing with, and that's not a problem for me. It's just that that's all, like, that's way out of scope. I'm trying to stay within the agency, and so the most viable thing I could do that makes sense is let's secure this project, this automation project, build it out, and then run a campaign and try to sell it to the 12 other franchises, and for the same exact, almost the same exact price. It'll be lower just because obviously I'm not spending time building anything. It's already been built. I'm reselling it. But we could potentially expand the scopes a little bit. Either way, it's gonna get sold. We're gonna try to sell it. Even if I don't land this, I will try to sell it to the other 12. I think at first I'll try individually each franchise, and if it doesn't really work, doesn't really pan out, we'll see what we can do if by approaching from a top down level, going for the head of the Hydra and going for the head office. We'll see. Just because, you know, if I want something, like the whole idea of building the integration product was, you know, I could build something, right, and then build it up to a higher valuation and exit. But the problem is, you know, I was looking at the economics of it all, and you know, I was not particularly taking into account like certain numbers, and got a bit of the pricing wrong a little bit in terms of, you know, where the real value is, which means obviously, you know, I overvalued it a little bit. I mean, and that's fine, but the whole thing is, it's a small market, really, and to get, let's just say you got like 20% of the market using your product, that's not a lot. That's not a lot. That's nothing that I can really exit out of. And, you know, it would never get funded. And, yeah. It, you know, you could sell it to private equity and they can get it as a roll up. But at the end of the day, it would not have been. The only way to make it worthwhile is if the integration had more scopes to it, more defensibility. Because at the end of the day, it's not a very defensible product. So, yeah. I mean, that's my thoughts so far. Yeah. Nothing else to say, really. We went on a morning run, and I don't know. I mean, our pace was pretty good, but it felt a lot more difficult this time around. I don't know why. But 15-minute 3K, so pretty solid. Yeah. Later.